Joining me now at the Property Investor Show is Ash Zuberi, HMO landlord and founder of the HMO group on Facebook. So welcome, Ash. I think it's the first time that we've welcomed you to Property Tribes TV.
It is. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. Quite surprised, but happy.
Good. Now tell us about your panel today, because you had over 100 people in the room, a lot of interest in HMOs. What were the kind of messages you wanted to get across today?
Well, what the main aspect of the conversation or the debate is whether HMOs can be profitable and ethical at the same time. And I think before we even got into the room, I think that was the general consensus, because the panel, which included Nick Fox and Steve Bolton and Wendy Whitaker and Matt from Spare Room, we tried to engage the people in the room and ask them questions like, do they think ethical HMOs can be profitable? And they all answered yes. We asked how many people have got HMOs in there. The majority had them, and we all agreed that having something that is of great value and of safety and that follows all the laws can give you the best results.
Yeah, indeed. I think there is some concern that the HMO route is seen as the kind of flavour of the month for kind of get rich quick in property, whereas in fact it does require a lot more work, a lot more systems, etc. And I'm sure that's a message that you're very keen to promote in your group as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's there's a lot of get rich schemes out there, including the HMO one. It took me 7 to 8 years to get where I am, so it's not easy. And what we always say is the HMO strategy is good financially, but there's a lot of work involved in it, and you have to follow the law. You have to abide by what the council or the local authority is saying, and you have to deliver what the tenants are asking for. So if you're going to cut corners, as it has been done throughout time, for a generation nearly, then you're going to have bad results. And we've seen that with all the bad press that we're getting with HMO landlords and have done over the years.
I mean, I think a message that we try and get across at Property Tribes is that prevention is so much better than cure. If you are educated and understand what you're getting into, you're far less likely to encounter problems or the pitfalls. And I think it's very important that people such as yourself join together with other like-minded people to try and promote best practice.
Absolutely. I believe that totally, and that's why we approached you, and we're sort of working together on this. We created the HMO group on the sole purpose of sharing, educating and networking, and we need to change the perception of what the everyday person thinks an HMO landlord is and how it looks like. And in order to do that, we need to work with everybody, whether it's tenant organisations or people like yourselves, PT, and really work together, because there's no us and them anymore, like you said, which is a great principle that we must follow, and that we all sort of converge on the same issues, that surround us, because it all affects us at the end of the day.
It does, and at the end of the day, without tenants, none of us have a business. So I think whether it's single buy-to-let, standard buy-to-let, or HMO, the tenant's got to be at the heart of everything that you do.
Absolutely. If you don't deliver the goods to your tenants, then it's not going to work. We've got that proven in my own HMOs. Whenever I set up my HMOs, we try and provide what the tenant wants, and what that has delivered is, we've helped 6 tenants get onto the property ladder. We've got great reviews. We've got people that are going out together, making relationships, marriages, people going to see each other on holiday. I mean, it's that's what you want from your business.
Yes.
You don't want to have to be dealing with people running off with money and all these other things that you get. You build a good system around your core customer, then you get the best results.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to finish then, Ash, what would be your number one tip to a fairly inexperienced landlord thinking of getting involved in HMOs? I mean, clearly there's a lot of good free stuff out there, like Property Tribes, like your HMO group on Facebook, which we'll put a link underneath this video. So what other advice would you give them to make sure they get set up properly?
I would do as much research as you can. I always try and tell any new client that wants to get into this, if they come and meet me and I tell them the reality of the situation, and then they walk away and say, you know what, that's not for me, I think I've done my job well, because they've really understood that it's too much work for them to do alone, and they'll need help, or they'll need more education, or they just want to walk away. So I spent a year in research, right, and that's got me where I am, and that's my top tip. Don't try and rush. A lot of people want to make this whole thing work in 3 months, and they come out of the training camps all hyped up and ready, which is great, but the HMO is a big beast,
Yeah.
and you need to really learn how to control it.
Well, that's fantastic advice, and thank you very much for joining us
Thank
here
you.
on Property Tribes TV.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.